Hi Swarthmore baseball fans, I'm Kyle Condor, Athletic Communications Assistant at Swarthmore College. You may see me at Garnet sporting events with my camera or somewhere in the press box. I got to know the 6 Swarthmore baseball seniors very well when I traveled with them on their Cinderella story run through the NCAA tournament last season. Today I spoke with all 6 of them and allowed them to share some of their favorite memories with the team, and I also gave them the opportunity to get some things off their chest about their senior teammates and coaches. Let's hear what they had to say. If you could pick your favorite play or moment that one of the other 5 seniors made during your time here, what would that moment or play be?
Got to go with Rapstar in this one. Regional championship.
Like full count, like bases juice.
Our pitching coach at the time, Gus, comes out, gives him an insane speech that I totally can't repeat here.
Groppy throws a strike, looks like he's calling a ball. Groppy's got his hands on his head like, what are you doing, man? Yo, what are you doing?
Groppy proceeds to go strikeout swing, strikeout looking.
Walks off the field, he gets a strike call. Let's go, let's go.
J-Rob, the obvious one for him, which would be the Baldwin Wallace home run. I'd have to say my favorite moment of his would be when he hit 3 home runs in the Ursinus game. There's something about that third at-bat where you just kind of knew. I like to talk a little bit from the bench, and when a guy hits 3 home runs, it gives me a lot of ammo.
Freshman year, we were playing at Gettysburg, and a lot was going wrong. And all of a sudden, there's this shot to left center, and I see Superman dive and coming out of Levitt. He's just flying across the ground. His hang time must have been 4 or 5 seconds, and he made the most beautiful baseball play I'd ever seen in my life. And I think that was the day when I realized, like, oh man, we got some talent in the freshman class, and this kid's gonna be something good.
We bring in our little subby left-hander, Zach Gonzalez, throwing about 66 miles an hour, and gets out of a huge jam for us. And we're all singing happy birthday to him because it just hit midnight on his 21st birthday. One of the best coaches in D3 history is just looking over at us like, I can't believe we're losing to this team right now.
So he calls himself the con man. He takes a lot of pride in the way that it's spelt. And what was really funny last year is that there was a streak of a couple of games where the away teams were misspelling his name. They were using a K, they were calling him Chase as opposed to Connor Elliott. And it was just really weird because of all people to have their name misspelled, like he was the one that probably like cared the most, so he took it really personal.
Portland was really hyped up to us. They were like a top 10 team the entire year. And, you know, Ricky went out there and he just absolutely shoved against them. Ricky threw a complete game, and, you know, I mean, for a team that puts a lot of runs and still pull it off was really impressive.
Mitty is not one that's shy of personality.
No.
He's a very personable guy. If you could impersonate him or just give a funny memory about him, what would you do?
With Mitty, it's all about how he handles the umpires.
The most unique form of umpire critiquing I've ever seen.
I know you missed that, Gary. I know you missed that. He always uses the first name. I know you missed that line.
Yeah. Come on, Alex. You're screwing these kids, Alex. I know you can be better.
It's like I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed type deal.
He's got a Rolodex somewhere in the back, just all over those guys.
Look at me. Look at me if you messed up that call. Come on, Gary, look at me.
He got one ump this year, I think it was the Washington College game, who he admitted to having a really bad inning, and then every time he would call a strike for us, he'd kind of look over to Mitty for like approval. And I thought that I've never seen a coach get into an umpire's dome like that before.
Post-game, or at the end of a practice or something like that, he'll start out like really like mundane and soft and be like, you know, it wasn't our best practice, guys. Like, we really could have done better. And just like gradually amplifies his voice and like his expressions.
His voice gets real high pitched too. I mean, he can get to a new octave sometimes that none of us are even capable of.
And by the end of it, he's just like screaming at us. And sometimes he'll, you know, throw in an expletive or something like that we just totally weren't expecting. We thought it was just gonna be this chill conversation. He'll just really, you know, get up there.
Wait, what does G30 mean though? Like,
I couldn't tell you.
Let's go get that excellence.
We're gonna do a little rapid fire here. Of course, you didn't know any of these questions ahead of time.
Nope.
I'm gonna give you a most likely to. You're gonna tell me which of the 6 seniors, could be yourself, would be the most likely to do something. Which senior on the team is most likely to check their stats right after the game?
J-Rob.
J-Rob.
Jackson.
J-Rob. Definitely Levs. I would say J-Rob, but the incredible thing about J-Rob is that like he remembers like every at-bat and like every pitch and like every count and what happened in the result. So he doesn't need to check because like he already has it done in his head.
I have to go Ricky Conti on that one.
Any specifics?
Well, I remember last week, Ricky, there were a couple times that for some reason his strikeouts didn't get recorded correctly and he was upset.
Most likely to blow up the group chat with something like either that nobody cares about or just like rambling about something that like is not that big of a deal?
Charlie Levitt.
Gonzo, he's one of those guys who, you know, he's a kind of a quantity over quality guy with his jokes.
I'd probably go with Graffy. Graffy's just, you know, I don't want to say he's a wild card, but, you know, at any day of the week, at any time, Graffy's doing something interesting.
Oh, Levitt. Out of the blue, nobody's typing in our team group chat, and Lev's just sent a picture of himself from freshman year. He's like, hey everybody, freshman year Levs. We're like, cool.
Probably Gonzo. Gonzo puts a lot of effort into making sure that he's the coolest kid on the team.
In terms of just coming out of left field, no pun intended, I gotta go with Levitt for that one.
All right, so let's pretend somebody's playing some real crappy music. Who's the most likely to like just run up and take the aux and just put on what they want?
I have to go with Gonzo. Gonzo's also very particular about like listening to good music and stuff, and he doesn't tolerate bad music. So I'm pretty sure he's actually done that before.
Probably have to go Zach Gonzalez on that one. DJ Gons.
I'm gonna go with Gonzo again.
Gotta be Gonzo.
When it's a switch up, it generally means Gonzo or Lev's lost the aux, so I'm gonna have to give it to J-Rob.
I'm just gonna say it, I think I have the best aux on the team.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You're most likely to just like set the car on fire. Like,
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or Ricky's definitely most likely to jump in.
Okay.
He's definitely willing to jump in, but you know, he's playing music from YouTube. You got ads in there. It's just, you know, you ruin the flow, ruin the vibe a little bit. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta step in, you know, show them how the big boys take the aux a little bit.
Exactly. So you guys are in the weight room for a day, but later you're just chilling. Who's most likely to bring up how much they bench when nobody asks at all?
I think they're all gonna say me.
Charlie Levitt.
I hope they don't say me, but
Oh, that's Levitt. That's absolutely Levitt.
I would probably say, God, I don't know. This one worries me.
That's an easy one. That's Charles Levitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it so easy?
Because he's told me without me asking.
I don't know. You got me on the spot here. I don't know.
They're gonna say me. God, I don't know. Jackson Cotter always squatting more than me and letting me know.
Levitt. Yeah, he's definitely gonna come back to the apartment most days and be like, yeah, hit 245 today for a couple reps, so not a big deal.
Jeez, I don't know. All of them, honestly.
3 senior pitchers on the team. Yourself, Ricky, Gonzo. If one of them could hit or be a position player, who would it be?
You know, Ricky wants me to say his name so badly right now.
I'm gonna have to go with myself.
Ricky would get really mad if I didn't say him, so I'm gonna go with Ricky. Ricky has a glove for every position.
Well, Gonzo's nasty in left field.
I mean, Ricky takes BP and grounders every single day, but I've seen him in an at-bat this year, and it was ugly.
I mean, I'm not sure about the hitting piece for any of them. We've seen what Ricky can do at the plate this year, and it's questionable.
I'm gonna have to go with Gonzo.
I'm gonna give it to Gonzo.
Gotta go with myself.
I knew you were going to say yourself.
It's obvious. I mean, on the season, on the career, Lamont base percentage is 500.
I could take 4 balls in the dirt, too.
He was hurt with a back injury this week, and yesterday I come out to practice and shagging at shortstop. So, one, that's dumb, and 2, it speaks to how much he wants to be a position player.
I play a mean shortstop. It doesn't really work with the whole left-handed thing. That's probably the main reason why I don't play shortstop here.
So there's also 3 senior hitters. It worked out really perfectly. You, Levs, J-Rob. Of you, who would make the best pitcher?
I'm gonna have to go with myself on this one.
Levitt has one of the nastiest knuckle slurves to ever exist.
heard about it.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Well, I'm going to have to eliminate Charlie right off the bat. I mean, he likes to talk up his knuckle slurve. It's terrible.
But something about Conman's arm angle, I just think he'd be a great addition to the Sidewinder Nation.
I would probably have to go with Connor, especially if you've seen his arm angle. He can drop that thing down pretty low.
Conman, you get that guy submarine, he already throws from down here.
Gotta go with Conman because he's got that arm slot.
Oh yeah, Sidewinder Nation, yeah.
You know, so, you know, and I've got a little bit of a knuckle slurve.
we heard about it already.
I can throw a little splitter. You know, I'd like to see Connor come up and try to hit my splitter and see what he could do.
Yeah, and there's a group of sidewinders on the team, so
Yeah,
you fit
there
right
is.
in.
Yeah, it'd probably be better than all of them. So.
3 senior hitters, 3 senior pitchers. We've gone over them. You guys are hooping. Seniors versus seniors, 3-on-3. Who's taking that? Hitters or pitchers?
Oh, are you kidding me? That's even close. The hitters were absolutely right.
I think the hitters would definitely win, first off.
That's so easy. Position player is going to win that one 10 times out of 10.
As much as I'd hate to say it, you know what? No, I'm not going to say it.
The confident person in me wants to say us.
Do we have a ref calling fouls? Because if we don't, pitchers. I mean, you should see Ricky with the elbows.
Ricky is just an absolute demon in pickup basketball. He fouls and fouls and fouls, and then when you finally call a foul, he calls you out for being soft.
The only way the pitchers end up winning that game is if Ricky tackles us and injures us. He puts Draymond Green to shame. I remember my freshman year, he almost tore my arm out of its socket.
Wouldn't mind getting a tryout from Landry. Hasn't seen my corner jumper yet.
One thing I would say is I know you asked Charles that question.
I mean, if you ever see me in pickup, I can rain some threes.
I've played some pickup with him and I've seen his jumper and it's about as broke as it gets.
Grappy's a disaster. We could pick on Grappy all night. That's a matchup nightmare for them.
As the pitchers, we are just like superior athletes to the position players. They can't really help it.
Gonzo thinks he's really good at basketball, but I don't know. I'd like to see him try to guard J-Rob in the post. I don't think he'd have much of a chance.
Ricky's putting up a double-double. I got a triple-double easy. And, you know, Grappy's going to do what he can to get the job done.
Yeah, J-Rob and the height advantage over there, they're going to win.
So they would probably just out-experience us and outsize us a little bit. So it'd be competitive, but the hitters would probably win.
All right, so we're going to scale it back a little bit here, perhaps get a little sappy. 4 years at Swarthmore, I'm sure baseball has meant a lot to your experience here. I know academics are a huge part of it. It's all coming to an end soon. I'm sure you have a lot of great memories. You made a lot of good friends, clearly. What do you take away from this experience with the baseball team?
My freshman year, I never would have thought that come junior year we'd be competing for College World Series.
Having like 300 people up there, you know, that's something we joked about freshman. Like, yo, like we made the playoffs, like, and hosted, like we could theoretically be playing on Woodstock in front of the entire school.
You leave everything up on the hill and just come down here, use it as a getaway, and just work at your craft, you know, and just have fun out on the field and do some things you never thought you could do.
It's really unreal. It's really taught me what it's meant to be part of like a family.
It's everything we do together. And we support each other through the downs, and then when the ups come, it's just amazing to be able to share it with these guys.
My freshman year, I had the yips, and I kind of thought that like my career was over. Any other program kind of would have just like cut me or given up on me. And so just to see like somebody else have that kind of faith in me, just like super meaningful to me.
I'd do anything for those 5 guys.
I mean, we really started out as teammates and ended up becoming a family.
And these guys are some of my best friends, and they're definitely going to be friends that I have for life, no doubt.
When you get a group of guys together who all care so much about one thing and, you know, just like genuinely like spending time with each other and doing what they do, it's just, the possibilities are endless.